Today I wanted to talk about the different ways that having chronic anxiety can affect your relationships and what you can do about it. Hello, and welcome to the Living My 2.0 YouTube channel. My name is Julia, and I'm a happiness mindset coach, and I help women who are struggling with chronic negativity and anxiety overcome that and empower them with the tools they need to cultivate a more positive and happier mindset and life. So today I wanted to talk about a topic that came up in a poll on my Instagram. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, make sure you follow me there because that's where I generate a lot of my content ideas based on what my viewers, my followers, and what you want to know about when it comes to mindset and how to create a better and happier life for yourself. So go follow me on Instagram. I'll make sure to put my link down below and I hope to see you on there. So this topic that I'm talking about today was inspired by an Instagram poll because I was on my stories one day and I was getting ready for a date night and I was sharing with my followers about how at the time when I struggled with chronic anxiety, it was actually really difficult for me in my relationships because I couldn't show up as the best version of me because I was dealing with so much of my own problems, and how overcoming anxiety and improving my mindset really helped me strengthen my relationships in every way. So today I wanted to share that with you in this video. So let's dive in. So one way that anxiety stopped me from showing up as the best version of myself in my relationship is that it really affected the way that I was able to communicate. So one of the ways that anxiety really negatively impacts your relationships, whether that be romantic relationships or relationships with your family or your friends, is that it really stops you from being able to be a good communicator. And the reason behind this is that when you experience anxiety on a regular basis, so much of your thoughts and your thinking and your energy go towards trying to handle those negative and anxious feelings. And when you're in that kind of mind space, it really doesn't allow you to communicate properly with your partner because you're so wrapped up in your own head that just communicating your feelings to someone else is very difficult. And with anxiety in general, it's even hard to understand what you're going through sometimes, yet alone trying to explain that to somebody else. So what it usually results in is a lot of negative behaviors to kind of cope with the anxiety that you're feeling. So maybe you're not truthful about the way you're feeling with the people around you because you're scared of the idea of having to try to communicate it because you don't really know what's going on with yourself, or you just kind of shut them out because you don't want to explain your negative feelings and you don't want them to feel bad about the way that you're feeling because you just feel like so much of this is your problem and you don't want to share that with them. And really communication just kind of breaks down. Another way that communication breaks down is because you are so focused on your anxiety and negative feelings that you might lash out at people. When you're always on a really high level of anxiety in your mind and in your body, it really causes you to have irrational freakouts at people, even if they're not doing anything that's upsetting to you. It could just be, they're asking you a question or whatever, they're trying to get your opinion on something, and that kind of sets you off. And that's all because you're so stressed out and anxious that you're unable to properly communicate with people. So communication is a big one, whether it's reacting in a really negative way when you're communicating with somebody or just completely shutting them out. Whatever it is, whatever tactic you have, a lot of that stems from unprocessed emotions and unprocessed anxiety and an inability to deal with your anxiety in a good way. And that's why communication is such a big problem when it comes to dealing with anxiety in your relationships. Another way anxiety can affect your relationships is just your ability to actually show up and to be present. So when you struggle with a lot of anxiety, something that is very common as a symptom is that you tend to want to be alone. And when you want to be alone, that means that you're not as able to put yourself out there when it comes to going to family events or going to parties, things like that, especially if you're dealing with social anxiety, can really trigger your symptoms. So if you're thinking about your relationship with your friends or your relationship with your partner, what if your friends or your partner want to go out for dinner, or what if they want to go dancing and your anxiety is stopping you from being able to be comfortable doing that? That's a big way that your relationships with people can be affected, all due to your anxiety, because you're keeping yourself small and you're keeping yourself shut away and you don't feel comfortable putting yourself out there and going out of your comfort zone. A lot of people find comfort in their own homes when they have anxiety because they think that that's the safest place they can be, and that's kind of the way they process through things. And it's a lot easier for an anxious person to think of dealing with anxious thoughts in their own home than it is when you're out in public, because you start to get those negative thoughts going in your head, thinking that people are judging you or being afraid that you won't be able to get away from something that's anxiety inducing. So not showing up and not being able to put yourself out there and go out in public is a really big way that anxiety stops you from having a great relationship with your friends and family and loved ones. And another way that having chronic anxiety really affects your relationship with your partner and with your loved ones is that it doesn't allow you to be there for them as much as you want to be. So supporting your partner, supporting your friends, supporting your family members, when you're dealing with your own chronic anxiety, it's very difficult to have the capacity and the energy to show up for those people that are wanting to rely on you for their mental health, or maybe they're wanting to just share something good with you, or they're wanting advice on something. And I know this is something that I experienced too, is I'm someone who's always been very into giving advice and trying to help my friends, but at times when I was experiencing very chronic anxiety, I felt like I couldn't really be there for my friends as much because I was so focused on just trying to be in control of my own well-being and my own mental health that talking about their mental health or their issues in their life actually triggered my issues and my insecurities and my anxieties. So when you're experiencing chronic anxiety, sometimes it can help you from even just being the best partner or friend that you can be, because you don't have as much of a capacity to lend your emotional support and your emotional care to your loved ones and those around you. And I know when I healed from anxiety, that's something that I gained back. That's something that I was able to rebalance and introduce back into my life, allowing myself more capacity to help the people around me and to give advice and to be that ear for people to talk to, or to be that shoulder for people to cry on. That's so much more in my capabilities now than it ever was when I experienced anxiety, because now I have more emotional capacity to help those around me. And that's just something that feels so good. And that is definitely something that can happen for you if you work on your anxiety and your negative feelings. You can start showing up for your friends and family in a more better and amazing way. Okay, so today we've talked about 3 different ways that having anxiety can negatively impact your relationships, and now I want to hit you with the solution. So the solution to being able to show up better for your friends and family, your partner, your loved ones, your family members, everybody in your life, if you want to be a better person, if you want to have more confidence, if you want to have more control of your emotions, if you want to work on yourself so that you can show up better in all areas of your life, then I invite you to check out my latest course called Shifting Your Mindset 101. So I've created this course for people just like you who experience anxiety on a regular basis and who are just tired of it. You want to start showing up better for yourself, for your partner, for your kids, for your friends, for your family. You want to be a better version of yourself and you're just not sure how to get there. This course is specifically made for you because I teach you all the tools and resources and mindset tips that you need to shift out of a place of lack, to shift out of a place of struggling with your own emotions, and starting to shift to a place where you're understanding your emotions and understanding how to move out of that negative place and go into a more positive place. So if you want to learn more about this course, I will link the link below for my website. It goes over the basics of the course and what you will learn, as well as the link to the waitlist to sign up to be notified when the course will go live. I am so excited to be able to offer this course. I know that when I was going through my personal development journey and my first priority was starting to tackle my anxiety and negative thinking so that I could start thinking more positively and creating more positive change in my life, I know that I would have benefited so much from a course like this. It would have saved me so much time and effort and mistakes and setbacks and triggers that I experienced just by doing it by myself alone. So that is why I'm so passionate about being able to share this course with you. I really hope that if you're in a place where you're feeling called to be greater, if you're in a place where you're tired of dealing with all of the problems in your life and you've reached that place of thinking enough is enough, it's time for change, I really hope that we can connect together, and I hope to see you on that waitlist for my course. It's time to stop struggling and time to start living. I want to see you become the best up-leveled and upgraded version of yourself, so I hope that I will see you in my course. I want to know what you think about this video. Did any of the examples that I shared today strike a chord with you? Are these things that you can relate to? Is there anything that I talked about today that you want to overcome in your own life? If you want to be able to communicate with people better, I want to hear below what you think about this video. Alright, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm so happy and proud that you showed up here today to get one step closer to being the best version of you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!